What's good, my family? Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad to see y'all today. I'm feeling fantastic today. So today I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I woke up this morning. I did my in-class questions. I edited my video. I posted my clip on social media. Went and got some food. And I came home and I was slumped. It was raining outside. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a nap. And after I took a nap, I woke up. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my vlog different today. I'm gonna do it like a how-to vlog. Because everybody has been asking me, how do you start your podcast? How do you market your podcast? So you know what? I'm going to make a vlog just for that. Let's get straight to it. All right, y'all. So step number one. You obviously need a microphone. Listen. This microphone right here. Everything, by the way, everything I say is going to be down below, link in bio, whatever. This microphone right here, y'all, $19. Now, a lot of people will tell you, oh, get the $100 ones. You don't need that junk. I mean, eventually you may want to get some good microphones. With me, I've been doing my podcast for over 1 year, and I've been using these $19 microphones. This is all you need to start off with. And then, of course, you need a stand. This stand is only about $10 to $14, y'all. Boom. You got the cord pieces out the way. And, of course, oh, sorry. The cord. This cord, I think, costs about $8 at Amazon. So, $19, $8, about $10, $15. It's $30, $40, some shit like that. Me personally, y'all, I have a mixer, and this mixer can hold 6 inputs, meaning that you can put in 6 microphones. But a lot of people, you may just need probably a very small mixer that only holds 2 microphones. But you plan on having a big show, a lot of hosts, I recommend this. This honestly was pricey. It was $200, but it's mini on Amazon. You can get for like $50 with only 2 inputs. So I'm going to put a link for that down below for you guys. And the second thing, actually the last thing you need, honestly, you need a software to record the voice. And me, personally, I use GarageBand. This is very cheap. It's actually free, by the way, y'all. It's free. I believe in everything free. You download this on your MacBook, boom. You know what, y'all? Scratch all that. I'm going to just do this vlog style because I can't sit up here and do a stage video. It felt awkward. It felt like I wasn't going on my flow. So I'm going to go with what I know best, and that's vlog style. So what's up, y'all? So honestly, I'm going to tell y'all my personal story about the podcast. When I started my podcast, it was like a rough/great time in my life. I had just came from Colombia, down there in South America, had a great time, came back from spring break. I was motivated. I was all like, yeah, I can't wait to go home and start this podcast. I'm excited to start this podcast. My truck fucked up within the first 2 weeks I came back from spring break. That was cool. Like I always say, shit happens. I spent about $1,500 to get my truck fixed at the time. And after I spent that, 2-3 days later, it started leaking coolant really bad. And I took it in again, and they told me it's a blown head gasket. Therefore, they want an extra $1,500 to get that fixed. I didn't have the money at the time, so I pretty much didn't have a car at that time. I was carless for the moment. And I only had $100 to spare because I spent so much money getting my truck fixed. But I really wanted to start this podcast. So therefore, I went on Amazon and I found everything for cheap. I went and got a $19 microphone, some cheap cords, and some stands. These aren't the original stands I used, but they was same price, $10, $15 stands. And I got a mixer. A mixer is that thing I was showing y'all that you actually plug the microphone into. And I got that for free, honestly, because I had these old DJ turntables and I traded this guy online for one. So boom. I only spent probably like $100 to get all my equipment, 3 microphones and, you know, the wires and all that stuff. I would spend 20 minutes a day, like walking around back and forth at home, trying to think of a topic to talk about. It wasn't until one day Ashley was over my crib and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do a podcast. And she's like, what are we going to talk about? I was like, I have no idea. Let's just record and just do one. And simply by just starting a podcast with no topic, that was the greatest thing ever, y'all, because it allowed me to be more free-flowing and us to just discuss whatever. And little did we know, boom, that podcast was about traveling. And that's the very first podcast on the Lavish Journey, if you guys want to go check that out. And then before you know it, I just started hitting up random people. Hey, I got a podcast show. Want to come in there and talk about stuff? And they're like, what are we going to talk about? I was like, I have no idea. Just come talk to me. And then people were just saying, yeah. Before you know it, I recorded 10 episodes in 7 days. You know what I mean? That was a huge accomplishment, y'all. And I know a lot of people out there want to start a podcast and don't know what they want to talk about. Honestly, y'all, just talk. Just invite somebody over or do it by yourself and just talk freely. You know what I mean? Everything nowadays doesn't have to be based around a topic. I really feel like free speaking is more better than a topic. Like, I know now, since we do podcasts weekly, we like to have some type of topics to start off with. But when you're starting off on a podcast show, I feel, from scratch, just get on that damn microphone and talk about what y'all want to talk about. And throughout the journey, you'll see your interests that you like to talk about. For me, for instance, After I invited so many people through, I started posting the clips online to promote my podcast. And boom, before you know it, artists started to hit me up, entrepreneurs started to hit me up because they kept seeing those little clips I posted on social media of my podcast show, and it made them want to get on it. And that's another thing I want to talk to you guys about, social media marketing. That's huge when it comes to podcasts. So after you get everything set up, you get your first show recorded or multiple shows recorded, you must post the shows on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, or all of them. Because the more people that see those clips, the more people are going to engage within your show, the more people are going to actually want to be on your show. And that's really big. And that's how I grew my audience, y'all. Because now I have over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You know what I mean? I get a good amount of listens. But YouTube is actually my main core for my podcast. You know, SoundCloud, I average about 10 listens or so. But YouTube is the big platform on my podcast. And that all simply came from social media marketing. You can't expect to have a brand or a podcast and not market it to the world. You have to get on social media and do it. But long story short, y'all, that's how I started my podcast, and that's my key of marketing. My key on marketing is simply posting videos, like I said, or posting little snippets from your podcast consistently, and also asking people to get on your podcast show. I mean, if you want to just have a single podcast with just you on it, that's cool, but I recommend having other people on there. The more good people you have on there, the more your podcast will expand, and you will expand. And before you know it, boom, you have a brand. But that's my story on the podcast, and those are my tips to starting a podcast, y'all. I hope this was somewhat informative for you guys, because I couldn't sit up here and do that stage shit, y'all. How to start a podcast. That's not my style, honestly, y'all. I'm more free-flowing. I just pick up my phone, record, and I give you guys the story behind everything. But besides that, family, I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace and love, y'all.